Welcome to The Explainer. You know, if you've ever looked at a Japanese sentence and thought, wait, am I reading this backwards? You are definitely not alone. But what if I told you it's not backwards at all? Today, we're going to crack the code of Japanese sentence structure, and you'll see it's actually this really cool, surprisingly logical system of building blocks.
So let's just start with a little puzzle. Take a look at this sentence. Now, if you're coming from English, the word order probably looks, well, completely jumbled. The main action, the verb sent, is kind of buried way over there at the end. Who did what to whom? It feels like a total mystery we need to solve.
So, what's the deal here? Why is that verb all the way at the end? And what are all those little particles? You know, the wa, ni, and o. What are they even doing? How does this all come together and actually make sense? All right, let's dive right in and break this whole thing down piece by piece.
To really get a handle on any Japanese sentence, you only need to learn one simple fundamental rule first. I mean, this is the golden rule that pretty much governs everything else, and it's all about what comes last.
And that's it. That is the rule. In Japanese, the main event, the verb, the action, what linguists call the predicate, is always saved for the grand finale. It's kind of like how in English we tell you the action pretty early on, but Japanese sets the entire stage first. It gives you all the details, and then it reveals the action right at the very end.
So the crucial point is this huge difference in word order. English, as you know, usually follows a subject-verb-object pattern, SVO. Tanaka sent an email. Simple enough. But Japanese flips it to subject-object-verb. Tanaka-san, email, sent. The object actually comes before the verb. And honestly, once you get that one little shift in your head, the whole structure starts to click into place.
Okay, so if the verb is all the way at the end, how does the sentence handle all the other important bits like the who, the what, and the to whom? Well, that's where nouns and particles come into play. Let's see how they're put together.
So everything that comes before that final predicate, you can think of it as a self-contained unit called a case component. And the best way to picture these is like Lego bricks. Seriously, each brick is just a neat little package of information that tells you something specific about its job in the sentence.
And each one of these little building blocks follows a super simple formula. You just take a noun, say Yamada-san, and then you attach a special little marker called a particle, something like ga or ni or o. Now, this particle is the key. It's like a label that tells you exactly what role that noun is playing. Is it the one doing the action, the one receiving it? The particle defines its function, creating a complete, solid block of meaning.
Okay, let's get back to that predicate we were talking about, the part at the very end of the sentence. What's so cool about it is that it's not just a simple verb, it's really the engine of the entire sentence, and it's built in this fascinating modular way.
Just look at this. This is basically the secret recipe for a Japanese predicate. It's a chain of grammatical elements, and they all get attached in a very specific order. You start with the core meaning of the verb, and then you literally stack on these additional layers of meaning. Things like voice, tense, politeness, and even the speaker's attitude.
Let's actually build one together from scratch so you can see exactly how this works. We're going to start with the verb stem, which holds the core meaning. In this case, it's nanabe, which means to arrange. This is our foundation.
Okay, now let's snap on our first block, voice. By adding rare, we change the verb from the active voice, to arrange, to the passive voice, to be arranged. Just like that, the meaning has already gotten more complex.
Next up, let's add aspect. This te block tells us about the state of the action. Is it happening right now? Is it a completed state? In this case, it gives it a sense of a continuing state of being.
Want to make it negative? Easy. We just snap on the negation block, nakat, and boom, the entire meaning is reversed. It's incredibly efficient.
All right, now we have to place this action in time. We add the tense block, ta, which firmly puts the entire thing in the past. It was not being arranged.
But we're not done yet. We can also change the tone of the whole thing. By adding desu, we make the entire statement polite, and this is absolutely crucial in Japanese for showing the proper respect to the person you're talking to. And for our final layer, the finishing touch, we add a mood particle. The particle ne, tacked onto the very end, changes the statement into a question that's looking for confirmation. It wasn't being arranged, was it? I mean, just look at how much information is packed into that one final word.
So, now that we understand this whole building block system, both for the sentence components and the predicate itself, we can go back and finally solve our original puzzle.
Here it is again. 今日、田中さんは山田さんにメールを送ったそうだ. But this time, armed with our new knowledge, this isn't just a jumble of words anymore. We can see the matrix.
We can now see each building block perfectly clearly. Kyo sets the time. Tanaka-san wa is our subject block. That's who's doing it. Yamada-san wa is the recipient block, who it's going to. Meiru-o is the object block, what's being sent. And finally, that amazing stacked predicate, okuta soda, which doesn't just mean sent, but carries this extra nuance of, I heard that he sent, or it seems he sent. Every single piece has its own perfect place.
So after all that, what's the big takeaway? What's the core idea that we should really leave with today?
The big idea is this. Japanese isn't backwards. Not at all. It's a highly logical, almost mathematical language. Instead of a rigid sentence structure, it's a much more flexible system where you assemble all these blocks of information, the who, what, where, when, and you present them all before you deliver the final action that ties everything together.
And that leaves us with a final, really fascinating question to think about. If the language we speak actually influences the way we think, what does a language that systematically saves the main conclusion for the very, very end tell us about communication? Does it mean context is more important than the action itself? It's a compelling thought about how structure really does shape